Joining me on the show right now, Caroline Joyner, former executive director for trade promotion at the U.S. Department of Commerce, now the executive director for Texas and the Southwest region of TechNet. And Caroline, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Great. Good to talk to you this morning.
Great to talk to you. First, talk to our listeners a little bit about what exactly TechNet is.
Thank you. Well, TechNet is a national bipartisan network of innovation economy CEOs. We are an association of tech companies, and we work in Texas and across the country to really be champions for the growth of the innovation economy.
Well, and one of the reasons we have you on today is to talk about an issue that has really been, I guess you could say, heated during the primary season and is still brought up and will be brought up during the debates at some point, and that is trade and the TPP. It's been an interesting time for trade, as I'm sure you would call it interesting. That might be one of the words that you would label it, where you have Republicans and Democrats who are coming down on all different sides of trade now, right?
That's right.
What is, for those who, you look at Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, he has come out against TPP. And there are other conservatives who have come out against TPP. Why are they wrong?
I think what gets lost in this conversation is that globalization and international trade is good. It's happened and it's good for our economy. Some fundamentals. 95% of the world's consumers live outside the U.S. So 1 in 5 U.S. jobs are supported by trade. This is something we have to embrace to continue our economic growth and prosperity. I'm a native Texan. I grew up in Amarillo and went to high school in Odessa, and so I know firsthand what this means for Texas. Texas has been the top exporter in the country for 14 years. And so in Texas, we exported $337 billion in goods and services. And really, this is not about big business. There are 41,000 Texas exporters, and 93% of those are small and medium-sized businesses. That's 3.2 million Texas jobs that are tied to trade. That's what gets lost in this conversation.
When you have those who are arguing against TPP, and they're arguing against globalization, and you see this movement towards that, a lot of what people are arguing is that the American worker gets left behind and that those in the U.S. are not getting good deals anymore. Is that something that is correct, or is that something that is that a flawed way of thinking in your opinion, or is this something that, there is a little bit of that and we need to and we can go back and renegotiate some of these deals?
Well, TPP, Congress has to vote up or down on TPP. So if changes need to be made to get the deal passed, we agree to make those changes. But the time to act on TPP is now. And the fate of TPP is really with Congress, and time is of the essence on this deal.
Why has TPP this year been in the spotlight, you think?
This presidential campaign has defied all norms. I'm a veteran of 2 presidential campaigns, and I thought I knew how the party stood on these particular issues, and this really has defied all norms. So I do think that this has just gotten caught up in heated rhetoric, and what has been lost in this is the basic fact that trade is good. Trade is good for the American economy. It drives jobs. It drives growth.
Let's kind of look past the election. Mm-hmm. And, we know who the next president's going to be. Let's even move into 2017, and we talk about trade. What do you think, without there being an election cycle, at least a presidential election cycle, do you think trade is looked at differently?
I don't think so. I think that we're in a political season now, and I think it's difficult to get things done. So I think the Congress has a chance now to act on TPP. We would hate to see this roll to the next administration to deal with, because we will. There's a chance this could really damage America's image as a world leader on trade. If we let it wait, China will jump in here and step ahead of us on these deals. We have to act on TPP now.
We're visiting with Caroline Joyner, the executive director of for Texas and the Southwest region of TechNet, talking about trade, which has obviously been a big issue in this political season and in the presidential campaign, and will surely come up during the presidential debates between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Let's take a look at Texas. When it comes to trade in Texas. How big is Texas as far as a player globally?
Texas has been the top exporter in our country, as I mentioned before, for 14 consecutive years. Our number one trading partner has been Mexico, and for 20-plus years since we opened trade between our countries, we've really seen unprecedented integration and cross-border investment between our two countries. And this is 3.2 million jobs in Texas. And those jobs are growing at a faster rate than overall employment, and they're paying more. These are good jobs. Texas jobs that are in export-intensive industries pay about 16% more than average jobs. So these are good jobs for Texans. And for me, representing the technology industry, trade is about Texas driving innovation. Innovation is one of our key exports, and Texas is one of the key drivers in that innovation.
Texas and the tech industry, how much has that grown in the last few years, and how much do you think it'll continue to grow?
Well, it is definitely one of the biggest growing segments of our industry. Texas exported over $46 billion worth of manufactured tech goods in 2014, and that's only going to continue to grow. And the passage of TPP could be a game changer for tech companies. It really would. It would eliminate tariffs and customs duties on digital products. It would open the free flow of data, provide strong intellectual property, protect trade secrets. These provisions would really represent sensible first steps in how we adjust trade agreements for tech firms. It really could be a game changer for tech companies and could let Texas continue to drive economic growth and innovation.
Caroline Joyner, appreciate your time today. Where can people find out more information about what you're doing at TechNet?
Sure. Our website is www.technet.org.
All right. Caroline, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.